There's not many routes in and out of here. It's not like Hempstead.
Folks, if we cross the tracks here, take a look out the left side of the bus. This is the Gettysburg train station. This is the actual train station where Abraham Lincoln arrived just days before he gave his famous Gettysburg address.
Wow.
And you guys actually still kept the train into and out of Gettysburg if you want to do that. The train station, guys, is right here. It's not the best side of the bus. Folks, our next story begins. It's Christmas Eve, 1876. Nicholas Wilson and his wife are the caretakers for Evergreen Cemetery. They're attending the Christmas Eve festivities here in town. And as Nicholas recalled, he said, it was getting late, we've been in town a while, the festivities are winding down, and we knew we had a long walk down the Baltimore Pike toward our home. As my wife and I began walking back, we spoke to each other about how good it was to see old friends in town again. We hadn't been for some time. We made some new friends. We hope we see them next year. And as we kept walking, we talked about our plans for the new year. What do we want to do for Christmas Day? And then, before they realized it, guys, they covered almost the entire distance of their home. They were standing, they said, just 1 block away, opposite Children's Homestead. As Nicholas and his wife began to walk again, eager to get home, Nicholas took a few paces, and he stopped. In the middle of Baltimore Pike, Nicholas turns to his wife, and he says, "Do you hear that? There's a terrible noise coming from behind the homestead." Now I have to ask you guys, it's late, it's Christmas Eve, you're tired, you want to go home. Do you walk back and see what that noise is? Or do you go home?
You go home.
You probably want to walk home, right? Guys, Nicholas and his wife did both. She wanted no parts of that noise, but Nicholas was curious. So he walks off the Baltimore Pike. He said he began to walk down the north face of the homestead, toward the rear. He said he couldn't hear the horrible noise anymore, but as he approached the back of the building, he described hearing what he thought was a faint cry for help. He couldn't determine its source, so he kept walking. And then Nicholas said, "That cry for help is coming from the outhouse. Could that be right?" As Nicholas approaches the outhouse, guys, he says, "Yes, there's a faint cry for help. What do I do?" Well, he did what many of us might. Nicholas said he approached the outhouse cautiously. He pulled the door open and he was shocked. There was a young boy, not more than 5 or 6 years old. And again, Nicholas didn't hesitate. He did what many of us might. He said he reached in, he grabbed that boy, held him as close to his body as he could to get him warm, and they walked home. Well, what happens to the boy? Well, that's where you guys come in tonight. If you want to find out the end of his story, guys, former Children's Homestead is the brick building behind us. All you have to do is walk right across the street back into the old Gettysburg village. You guys will see a gazebo back there, and there's an outhouse. Guys, that's the outhouse for that little boy with his father in 1876. If you're brave enough, and of course you have to be tall enough, take a minute, approach the outhouse, and peek inside, and see if you can figure out the end of this boy's story. Guys, as we arrive back here, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. At the hotels in or around Gettysburg? Yes? Okay. So if they haven't told any of you guys yet, would anyone care to know if your hotel is haunted? That's one of the most common questions that our guests ask us when they visit. Guys, we answer everybody the same way. Yeah, your hotel's haunted. But we're not saying it just to say yes. There's a reason behind it. It's a very simple one. In most cases, guys, the hotel that you're about to sleep in tonight was not here during the battle. It was here years later. But what many people don't remember, the ground your hotel is built on was here. It's been disturbed, guys. It was fought over 159 years ago. So very likely it's not the actual building itself that's haunted. It's the ground under. Folks, I genuinely do hope that each of you sleeps well tonight, wherever you find yourself. Again, guys, thank you for coming. And one final favor. Your feedback is very important to us. So if you guys don't mind tonight, before you go to bed, take a minute and visit the TripAdvisor website. Type in the words "ghostly images of Gettysburg" and simply review the bus tour. If you guys liked it, great. You're obviously going to tell us. If you didn't like something, let us know that too. Again, guys, thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of your stay in town.
All right.